How's everybody doing? First off, Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys are all set to have a Happy New Year. We are going into, by the way, I'm gssixgun from Straight Razor Place, Glen Mercurio. We are getting ready to go into the new year, January 2012, and we started a little fun thing going on the farm right now, which is the JaNorton, or JaNorton, I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet, but anyway, using just the Norton 4.8. So that's what I'm going to do, and there's a whole lot of videos coming up, so I'm going to try and do something a little different. You guys have already seen the one 4.8 video that I've done. First off, this is one of my JaNorton razors. This is a Bengal. This razor in particular is one of my own personal ones. It has not been honed since 2007. Don't use it very often, so it really hasn't needed to be honed, but I honed it up originally back in 2007. It was refinished on a caudicle probably around 2008-ish. So I'm going to use this one for the JaNorton contest. Over here is my well for stones that are soaking. I popped the stones in probably about an hour ago. I'm going to pull out the Norton 4000. I just bought these new ones, and I had already lapped them up completely in another video. Put them in the stone holder. I was just honing on these last night, so it's still a little dirty. I'm going to set that up first off, and we're going to clean it off and make sure it's flat. Since these are brand new stones, it'll take a little bit longer to clean them up and stuff. Anyway, get it all nice and clean there. DMT 325. Rinse that off and just give it just a tiny little, about 5 figure-8s, just to raise just a touch of slurry. Okay, that's where we're going to start at. We're going to use the Norton 4 and the Norton 8, and that's it on this thing. I always use tape unless somebody specifically asks me not to, but on my personal razors I always use one layer of tape. Can or can't, doesn't really matter. I love all the geniuses that decide the numbers on the tape. But anyway, you don't want to use tape, don't use tape. You want to use tape, use tape. It's up to you. One layer of 3M 700 Scotch. If you're going to use it, make sure it's nice and tight and straight, okay, if you're going to use tape. I've already done the circles. Lynn's done the circles. So I'm going to show you something a little bit different. First off, this edge is actually still shave ready. It will still pop hair. And it just lifts it right off there, as you can see. So I'm going to kill the edge first. And I'm just going to do that really quick on the edge of the stone. Do 1, 2, 3 of those. And it pretty much kills the edge. As you can see, it will no longer pop hair. That's how quick it does it too. Instead of doing the circles, normally 20 hard, 20 hard back, the 40 circles like Lynn showed everybody, and it works awesome. We're going to try something a little different. That's one of the objects of this entire JaNorton thing, is to do a lot of different styles and types, and hopefully everybody will find one that really works for them. What I'm going to do on this time is I'm going to do almost like a Japanese setup, do the back and forth, sometimes referred to as Japanese honing. But I'm going to set the edge, and if you notice, I'm going to do this almost like a Kamasuri. I'm going to kind of put my thumbs towards the edge, and I'm going to come back and forth just down the hone. And you'll see how fast it already starts bringing up swarf on there. Flip it over, and I'm going to push my fingers again towards the edge. I'm going back and forth, and I'm also giving it just a little bit of heel forward motion there. So it's going back and forth, yes, but it's also coming from heel to toe also. So it's kind of a doubling motion. The first time through I went with a little bit of pressure. This time through I'm easing up on the pressure as I go. Easing up on the pressure again now. Also, if you notice, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a longer stroke on there. Instead of little tiny short ones, I'm kind of going a little bit more up and down the stone. Okay, if you notice how fast it got dirty, and it lifted the little thumb pad test. You can hear it start to catch on there. Now I'm just going to go 5 straight up and down with a little bit of heel forward. Most of the slurry is already off the stone, by the way. This is almost a clear water stone now. Then I'm going to go about 5 with a little bit of a, it has a tiny bit of a smile to it, so I'm going to follow that smile a little bit so it keeps it nice. And please don't pay too much attention to the numbers. About 5. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go the X stroke again with a little bit of a swoop to it to keep that smile going. Okay, I'm going to check that. You can start hearing it pop off there. Watch now. Hear it catch? You probably can't see the hairs popping. But it's popping hairs right at the base of the hair. I always check, now as you can tell, I don't have much hair on my left arm. I always check right here at the toe. I check in the middle, and I check at the heel. And it should pop hair all the way around. Bad habit of mine, every time I test something, I always do about 5 more strokes. I don't know why. I just do. Okay, now let's get a really nice even edge on there. Just enough pressure to watch the water just come up over the edge of the blade. And I'm always watching that, and it's kind of a feel thing too. You can feel bad spots. If it's really nice and smooth, that's the feeling that you're looking for. It's catching all the way through. And cutting all the way through. Okay, that's it for the 4K. Again, this January thing is really about how simple it really can be. The water over here, by the way, is distilled water. I use 1 gallon of distilled water and not even a whole cap of Clorox in there. And that will stay good for about a month or 2, honestly. I don't use the tap water. We run off a well. It's full of iron. It will actually stain the stones. It won't hurt it any, but I don't know, just particular that way. This is tap water, by the way. That's not. Norton 8K. Again, these are the separates, but same as the 4.8. Again, I'm going to raise just a tiny bit of slurry on it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Since I do use tape, I have a habit of changing the tape anytime I change stages. I don't want to say every single hone because it depends on what I'm honing on, but right now I'm changing a stage, so I'm going to change the tape also and start with fresh tape. Like I said, if you're going to use tape, be particular about it. Keep it all the same, keep it all even. Alright. Alrighty. 8K. I'm going to go really super light. Again, straight down the hone with slight heel forward for about 5. Notice I'm just kind of diluting out the slurry as I go. Again, the X strokes with a slight swoop to it, just to keep that nice little smile going on this blade. You can, well, I'm not sure if you can see in the camera. It's pushing the water almost perfectly right up onto the edge. Real slow, real fine strokes. Got 15 strokes. Again, the swooping action on this one. Notice I switched to one-handed because I'm getting a finishing stroke. Okay. Because we are using just the Norton 4 and 8, I'm going to be very, very particular about this finish because I'm going to try and get the best finish I can possibly get off just the 8K stone. Just smoothed out all that, anything that was left on there is gone, rinsed it off, and now I'm going to try and really get a finished edge on there. I'm trying to get rid of any slurry that might be left around there, and I'm going to very, very, very slowly and very, very lightly try and get a nice polish off this edge. As perfect as you can do the X strokes on this is what you want to do. Keeping the blade flat and light. Just enough pressure to keep the blade flat on the hone. Now I'm not counting these. Letting that 8K kind of go to dry right now. It's just barely damp now. There's no actual standing water on the hone now. It's just barely damp, and I'm getting really, really, really light on it. Okay. I need my loop. I love this lighted loop. It's got the LEDs. Really, really, really bright. The only thing I'm checking with the loop is to make sure that I didn't miss anything on the edge. In other words, I didn't mess it up. The polish is even from toe to heel, or heel to toe, whichever way you go. Okay. That's all I was doing on that, is just to make sure I got it as good as I possibly could get. So we're only using this little tiny bit of stone here. The stone is almost dry, and I'm going so light right now. Okay. That's going to do it for the stone. Now, part of this contest is no pastes. And I keep saying, all of us keep saying contest, and believe me, this is not a contest, this is fun. The only contest is to make sure that we have all kinds of information up on SRP on just how easy it is to really do that. Oh, tape residue comes right off that way. Just reverse the tape and pop it right off. SRD Premium 1 over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the webbing side and then on the leather side. And I'm going to kind of go slow because on camera, if you start going really, really fast, the camera can't keep up with it. Some of the computer geeks will tell you why it can't keep up with it. I'm kind of doing, and I can't really get this for you guys, I'll try and get it for you. I'm kind of doing what's called a racetrack pattern. So I'm kind of going in an oval around this. It covers the entire edge. You can go with an X pattern, but I personally like the racetrack. It's a 3-inch strop, so it's really easy to do. But if you're on a smaller strop, you can do it a little bit larger, oval-like. Oops, getting fast again. If you notice, I just keep the taut. I'm not trying to yank it out of the wall or anything. It's just nice and it's not tight, it's taut. Just a little bit of give to it. Slow down. Nice steady speed is what you want. About 50 on the webbing. Use the palm of your hand, and especially if your hand's nice and sweaty and full of oil, and just rub in the leather. I like to get it warm. Right when it gets warm, it seems to do the best. I don't know. Really light. Again, a taut strop. Notice I'm not pulling back on it, just really relaxed. Same thing, nice little racetrack pattern on this 3-inch. You can just keep up a nice steady speed. As you get better with the stropping, then you start being able to really kick up the speed a lot, but you don't need to. So long as the razor stays nice and even and moves across the entire strop. About 100. Now, one thing I'm going to do on this, because I am really, sorry, get behind there. I'm really looking for a smooth edge. This is a kangaroo strop from Jimbo, and I'm going to use it for about 20 strokes or so, 15 to 20. There's nothing in the rules that says you can use a finishing strop. Okay, this one is ready for test shaving now. It will actually just lift the hairs even above the skin level now. Just pops the hairs right off there. Can't really see it, of course, but just bing and they're gone. This is the one I'm going to use first. I'm also going to do up the ankles later, and I'll do a video on that one. I don't know what else. I mean, there's only so many different ways to get them sharp. Anyway, that's the Norton 4.8. Starting with the Japanese style honing, the back and forth honing, to set the bevel, finish off and sharpen on the 4K, and then polish and finish on the 8K. About 50 webbing, about almost like about 80 or 90 on the premium one, and then just a few to finish off on the kangaroo strop to try and get it as smooth as possible on my face. Anyway, welcome aboard for the JaNorton fun. Please do up your own videos and let's get them up there. The more the merrier. Talk to you soon. Once again, gssixgun from SRP. Talk to you later. Bye. Happy New Year.